Greetings everyone and welcome to this Alkhemystix video. I am your Alchemistic, Bettina Elizabeth, and today's video I was actually in meditation this morning, and in meditation Spirit told me that there are a number of things I was going through at the moment because I needed to more so believe, not just believe, but come to understand and know my own true power. So it came to me while I was in meditation that when it comes to a number of people, they'll say they're powerful, they'll call themselves all types of names, from gods to goddesses to witches to mystics, all types of things. But how much do they really believe in their own true power? Think about this. Whenever you use anything else outside of your own power, which is your connection to Source, that can be perceived as you doubting your own power. Now, hear me again when I say this. Anytime you use something outside of yourself in your own power that comes from Source, that can be perceived as not knowing your true power. Now, how so? How many of you have actually worked on manifestation of anything? It could be a manifestation of love, protection, money and prosperity, whatever. How many of you have actually done a full ritual or some type of full practice using nothing but yourself? No oils, no candles, no sprays, no herbs, no crystals. Just you. Very few of you, I imagine. And that is my point. Now, it's not to say that these things aren't or cannot be beneficial, okay? They are. But the thing is, in a lot of our magical practices that people forget, is that these things are supposed to be just tools. Because you're the power, right? If you call yourself a goddess or a witch or whatever else you want to call yourself, aren't you the power? Okay, so that is what led to today's video, all right? A lot of times we need to do the work so that we believe and wholeheartedly, unfailingly trust in ourselves, okay? So that's what led to me thinking about not just the power of you, but our energy, our chakras, etc. Because what is one way then to start to believe in your own power? Well, start feeling your own power. Start feeling it. Start feeling the energy in you. When it comes to us, when it comes to a lot of Westerners, I'll say, and our philosophies as far as energy centers, we automatically think of our chakras. And not even all of our chakras, just our main chakras from our core, so from our root to our crown. We're not thinking of any chakras really below that. We're not dealing with those, even though those are considered to be minor chakras anyway. We're not thinking about any of the chakras, beneath our feet or any of them above our crown. But that's okay, because you can get through life powerfully in your own magic without so much concentrating on many of the minor chakras. Though you may want to start to do some work on those higher chakras, but another topic for another day. Okay. So basically, like I said, you want to start to feel your own power. Now, in Eastern philosophies, like I mentioned in Western philosophies, but in Eastern philosophies, it's not so much solely the chakras, okay? With their philosophies, a lot of things have to do with your actual life force or your ki, okay, your ki energy. Of course, also too, they believe that if you feel ill or if things are going wrong in your life, a lot of that has to deal with the ki in your body not flowing correctly. All right. So, in my mind, I wanted to merge those together. So, about a year ago, may have been a little over a year ago by now, but about a year ago, I had some of my followers do a practice, okay? A practice of feeling their own ki, feeling their own energy. Because really, what better way to start to feel your own power when you can start to feel your own energy, right? Like I said, we want to get to a point where we're not just trusting, but unfailingly believing in our own power. So to do this, it was actually a really simple practice. Didn't take more than 5 to 10 minutes. And of course, once some people tried it, they all, a number of them were actually amazed because they didn't realize this. They had never practiced this before, but they all felt something. So after that particular thing, I kind of left it alone and didn't think about it much more. I mean, obviously it was a practice that I knew worked, but at the time, I kind of put it at the back of my mind thinking I'd get back to it later. Come a year later, right? So Spirit, like I said, when I was in meditation this morning, Spirit brought this back up. And at first I was like, why? But then I realized the reason why was because earlier in the meditation, we had already decided that today's talk was going to be on chakras. And I knew I wanted to, once I was finished with meditation, and this is where I'm really piecing a lot of this stuff together. When I was finished with meditation, it was okay. Well, I want people to really realize the power of you, their power. I want them to really get to intimately know and understand their power so they can trust it, right? How do you do that? Well, have them feel it. So bring the two together. Bring together an exercise that helps to not only clear the chakras, but feel your own energy and feel your own power, so that way you can know without a doubt that what you're doing is actually doing something. Because there are a lot of practices where, you're grounding yourself, you're bringing the energy up through your chakras. And a lot of times, like, you get to a point where you might feel that grounding energy coming up because, you'll get a tingle up the spine as soon as it hits that root chakra. But once it hits that root chakra, it feels like it kind of dissipates. So how do we build on that? Okay, well, I'm about to tell you. So let's go through this practice, okay? Now, for those of you who feel like you might need a walkthrough of this again, by Saturday, I will say, I'm actually going to upload a guided meditation with this. So that way, when you want to come through and do this practice, you can follow the guided meditation. So for all of the followers, make sure that you click the little bell notification so that way you're notified when new videos are uploaded. So that way, once this one is uploaded with the new guided meditation, It's going to be, what was it? Chakras. I know I forgot that fast and that horrible. Chakras, key, and the power of you. Okay. So this, and it will be chakras, key, and the power of you guided meditation. That's what the full name is going to be. So once that is uploaded, you'll be notified so that way you can practice it. But overall, just to give you a rundown of the practice, here's what you do. So you want to sit, of course, in a comfortable position. I can't really sit the way I want to outside in this little chair, so you understand what I'm saying. So you can sit in lotus, just simply cross-legged, however you feel. You want to sit, though, in a comfortable position. So now that you're sitting in your comfortable position, of course, you're going to take at least three deep breaths, okay? At least 3. So you'll inhale, and when you inhale, hold it for a count of 6. And then when you exhale, hold that for a count of 3. So inhale, and when you inhale, I don't want you to inhale into your stomach, okay? When you inhale, I want you to inhale and feel it filling up your lungs, okay? So you inhale, hold it for a count of 6. Exhale. Hold it for a count of 3. And you want to make sure, like I said, when you're breathing into your lungs, one way to practice this, better being able to breathe in your lungs, would be, to practice what is called reverse breathing, okay? Reverse breathing is basically when you inhale, and when you inhale, instead of your stomach going out, it's going in, okay? So that would be reverse breathing. And then when you exhale, your stomach is going out. So that actually is a good practice to get you in the habit. Well, one, there are actually a number of health benefits tied to reverse breathing. And then we're just going to take a side note real quick. And trust me, I will get back. I'm not going to go off on a tangent. But one thing that you can do at night, you can lay in your bed, okay? If you want to be able to more control and remember, like dreams and things like that go on at night, you can practice reverse breathing before you go to bed. So you would lay in your bed, and when you would lay in your bed, you want your feet straight up, okay? So don't let them fall to the side or fall to each other. You want them sticky straight up. So that means you're laying on your back, right? So you're laying on your back, feet straight up. And then to help you, you can actually even place your hands on your stomach. But just practice breathing. And when you practice your breathing, practice on the inhale, bring your stomach in. On the exhale, take your stomach out. Okay? And if you can get in the rhythm of doing this, and really it is something that takes practice doing, but upon getting in the rhythm of this and doing this at least 15 minutes before going to sleep, it actually can help a lot towards helping you remember things that go on while you're sleeping, and also help you to be able to more so guide where you're going and what you're doing while you're sleeping. When you get more practice though. But for now, we're going to go back to chakras because, I have a tendency to go on tangents, so we're not going to do that right now. But anyway, okay, so you now then you're breathing. And like I said, preferably doing a reverse breathing that's deep and feeling it, filling up your lungs, right? Okay. So at least 3 times. Don't forget. Inhale, hold for 6. Exhale, hold for 3. Now that you've exhaled the 3rd time completely, held it for 3, you can go back to your regular breathing. By now, your body should be in a calmer state, a more relaxed state. Okay? All right. So, excuse me. That was kind of nasty. I didn't want to do that and not have my mouth covered. That feels gross. Anyway, anyway though. Okay, so we're now sitting there and we're in our relaxed state. Hands, when you're sitting in lotus, you don't have to do all this, and you can just put your hands on your knees, okay? So of course you would be doing that from the beginning. So you're sitting there with your hands on your knees, still in your relaxed state. You've done your breathing. Now I want you to mentally start to just do a check of your body. And you can start from your head, moving down. And just run through your body and see how, just bring your awareness basically to each part of your body. So you could just check and see how it's feeling, okay? Mentally check for any aches or pains, anything that may feel like a blockage. Just mentally check for that. And if you feel anything, just, bring it into your awareness and hold it there for later, all right? All right, so now that you did that, and don't worry, I'll go through this a lot quicker when in the guided meditation. Once you did that and you get to your feet, and you checked all your toes and all of those wonderful things, now you're going to bring your awareness to your root chakra, okay? Now, from your root chakra, and this will be the part that most people have already practiced at some point in time in their life, because there are a number of guided meditations and teachers that go through this part, okay? But now, your awareness is back to your root chakra. You're going to envision roots, literally roots growing from your root chakra, going down into the earth. Now, here is one thing about roots going down into the earth, because there are a couple people that, they'll envision their roots going down into the earth, going down to the center of the earth, but they're literally done with that in a minute, okay? So basically those roots aren't growing very, very far. And what do they say about trees? The deeper the roots, the stronger the tree, right? The more it can withstand. Deeper the connection. So I'm going to say that same thing to you. So when you're envisioning those roots going into the ground, don't just envision the roots leaving your root chakra, going through the floor, going into the ground, and then immediately being at the center of the earth. That's not how you want to do it. When you feel your roots coming out, going out from your root chakra, going into the ground, you want to envision those root chakras traveling into the ground for a while, okay? You want to see them, because that's deep. To get to the center of the earth, that's a fairly deep trek. So you want to treat it like a deep trek in your mind, in your envisioning. So when you're doing it, not only see it traveling, see those roots breaking through the ground, getting to the center of the earth for a while. You want to see it going through each layer of the earth's crust to get to that core. Even if you don't understand particularly or have a good visual of what that layer looks like, just imagine each layer, getting harder and harder, or however you want to imagine it. Imagine it how you feel, but just imagine it. So imagine that your root just going through each layer until it finally gets to the center of the earth. And in my envisioning, in the center of the earth, I see this big ball, this big sun. Okay? So now you're at the center of the earth. Now, one thing, before I connect to the center, before I allow my roots to connect to the center, I prefer to ask permission. It seems only right? So, your roots are sitting there. They've just broken through. They're at this gaseous ball, so the sun in the center of the earth. And I just simply ask permission. Ask permission of Mother Earth to allow me to ground and connect with her energy. Okay? I get my response. And that's when I allow my roots to connect to that inner ball, that inner sun. Now, once that is done, you've connected, you feel the energy coming up. Of course, you thank Mother Earth in gratitude. for the energy she's providing you. Disconnect. And now you feel your roots along with all that energy traveling back up. And again, it's not something where it's going to come back up and it's back in you like that. You want to feel it coming back through each layer, traveling up. And you'll know when the energy's getting close, because again, you'll start to feel that tingle in your spine. So once you bring the energy back up through that root chakra, okay, you can go ahead, feel it cleansing and clearing that root chakra, because it's already there, right? So you might as well go ahead and work with that. But before you move it to any other chakra, bring that energy to the area of your liver, okay? So feel that energy coming up to your root chakra. Feel your root chakra cleansed and cleared, shining out brightly red. But then bring that energy immediately to your liver. All right? Now, you can, if you want, to shoot that energy straight through the root over to the liver and bypass the root chakra for now. That's perfectly okay. But you want to bring that energy, that grounding, healing energy over to your liver. And then just concentrate on that area. Keep your awareness on that area. And as you keep your awareness on that area, feel that energy that you just brought up from Mother Earth expanding and getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it gets to the point that it can't be contained in your liver area for any longer. And the thing is, you'll actually feel it. You might even not feel that it can't be contained anymore. It might just shoot out by itself, which is actually what happened to me the first time I did this practice, and others who did this practice. They didn't even realize they were at a point where the energy couldn't be contained anymore. They just felt it shooting out in their body. They felt the energy. They felt the ki shooting out. And for those that don't know, you know that the building of the life force, the ki, is in your liver area. Okay, so now that the energy has started to shoot out of you, now this is when, because now you have energy, you're energized, you have energy going all through your body. Bring that grounding energy back to your root chakra if you skipped over it. And even if you didn't, it's a great practice to go back through it again. Now that you have that ki shooting through your body, now is a good time to clear your chakras. Because now your body is alive and energized with life force. Life force is healing energy, okay? Amongst other things. But it's also healing energy. So now you can go through your root. Feel that life force and that earth energy mixed together, cleansing and clearing and healing anything that needs to be healed in that root chakra. And you'll see it a bright red, shining out, renewed, restored. And you'll do the same thing, of course, with your sacral, seeing the orange. The same thing with your solar plexus, seeing the yellow. The same thing with your heart, seeing the green. The same thing with your throat, seeing the blue. The same thing with your, and yes, and when I say blue, like I'm thinking like a nice navy blue. Just so you know, nobody asked me, but I'm telling you anyway. For mine, it's a pretty navy blue. But then to your third eye, excuse me. Then to your third eye, seeing that violet or indigo. I'm sorry, seeing that indigo, and then out through your crown, seeing the violet or white, whichever you choose. Now, one thing though, I do actually have to mention about the crown, okay? Because I noticed there are a lot of teachers, and I think I've only seen maybe one or two other people, even on my friends on Facebook, mention it this way. Because a lot of teachers, they tell you to go to your crown. And a lot of people, when they think of crown, they're literally thinking of, the top of their head. And so that's where they take energy. All right. Now, Here's the problem with that though. If every time you do some form of meditation that's taking energy out to the crown, and that's it, at some point in time you can end up with a buildup right here. Because this actually, if you're taking it to the top of your head, that's not even the crown. The crown is above the head. So you're taking all this energy to the top of your head, and now you have this block right below your crown. And now you're wondering why you're having trouble connecting to your higher self and connecting to a lot of your true potential and true power. Well, you can end up with a blockage in your crown because you're not taking energy out as far as it needs to go. Okay? Now, it even could get to a point where you have this blockage that's so huge, it's so big, and then all of a sudden you realize something doesn't feel right, so now you're trying to blast through it. And you could blast through it. You could. But you could also end up shattering your crown chakra. So, what you want to do is make it a practice. When I say go out through your crown, I mean send that energy out past your crown. Okay? Now, as a practice for me, when I'm sending energy out past my crown, I'm actually sending it up to my 8th chakra to make sure that where my higher self starts, that connection is clear all the way up. And then once I'm out past my crown chakra up to my 8th chakra, I make sure that connection's clear. Then I'll bring the energy back down through my crown and to whatever else I'm going to do with it. Okay? So I make that same recommendation to you. Don't stop at the top of the head. Sorry, y'all. Okay. I feel like I have another one. I don't know. Okay, but don't stop at the top of the head. And don't even stop at just, above where the crown is. Take it all the way out. And it's about a foot to 2 feet over you that you want to go. Okay? Take that energy out all the way to your 8th chakra so you can make sure that your passageways are clear for clear connection for all parts of yourself. Okay? When you're working with just these core chakras, you're making sure the energy channels are clear, within all parts of yourself in this physical body. But you want to make sure that, you have a clear connection and a healed connection with more than just this physical body. All right? So, like I said, you already know what I said. Take it out. Take it out to at least your 8th chakra. But once you finish that, of course, you're taking it back out to your 8th chakra. You can bring it back down to your heart space and just let it sit there. And once you do that, be thankful to yourself. You should. You understand what I'm saying? Be thankful to yourself. Show gratitude to your body for the healing that it just did with itself, for the empowering that it just did of itself. Because I could tell you, I can guarantee you that once you've concentrated on that liver, you actually feel the power of that energy. And I'm telling you, if you want something to really feel your own power, this is it. But once you've concentrated on that liver and you feel the way that energy shoots out of you, it feels like a firecracker. I mean, not in a scary way that's burning you, but it feels like a firecracker is going off in your body, the way the energy shoots out. The more you practice this, along with clearing and cleansing your chakras along the way, the more empowered you're going to feel. You're going to realize how much energy and power truly lies in you. And once you do that, there will be no turning back. No turning back. Because once you know how much of the power really relies on you, that is when your manifestations and all your work is going to take on a whole new So with that being said, I am going to get the guided meditation done on this to help you guys out, for those of you who feel you need it. Like I said, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're already not a subscriber, and then hit the bell button so that way you can be notified once the guided meditation is released. If you have any questions, you already know, leave them in the comments, and I definitely will get to them as soon as I possibly can. I don't know how long this spirit imposed isolation is going to be for me, but like I said, spirit wanted to make sure that I took the time I needed to separate myself, not waste my energy on things that it need not be wasted on, and really start to look at myself and look at my own power. And so, with that, then I recommend that to you guys as well. Start to look at yourself and look at your own power.